All right, if you are stepping into the software development space right now, you know the landscape is moving at absolute breakneck speed. Like the sheer volume of AI coding assistants out there for both new and seasoned developers, it's completely overwhelming. We're looking at the latest developer feedback and benchmark data from 2026, and let me tell you, the playing field has completely evolved. So today, we're going to cut right through all that noise. In this explainer, we're going to figure out exactly who you need on your digital development team.
Because, it really is the multi-million-dollar question, isn't it? Which AI coder should you actually hire first? We've all felt the pain of generating bad code, right? Spending hours debugging some hallucinated mess or just staring blankly at a massive, overwhelming legacy codebase. So I want to set the stage right here at the very top. There is no single best model. If you were looking for one magic bullet, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't exist. Instead, what we have are highly specialized tools. It's all about finding the exact right model for the specific job you're trying to tackle.
Okay, so here's our agenda to help us figure all this out. First up, we'll look at ChatGPT, the careful planner. Second, Claude, the intuitive architect. Third, Gemini, the context giant. And finally, we're going to put it all together and build the ultimate daily workflow. All right, let's dive right into section 1, ChatGPT, the careful planner.
So I want you to think of GPT 5.2 and its codex integration as the meticulous, maybe slightly cautious senior reviewer of your dev group. The one who double checks literally every single line. ChatGPT is highly reliable, especially when you're stuck dealing with those super messy code bases. It's really best used for large refactors, hunting down nasty bugs, and long horizon tasks. Out in the industry right now, its edits are actually praised as being minimal regret. And what that means is, when it changes your code, it rarely breaks something else in the process. It's an absolute powerhouse for multi-step migrations and acting as that expert code reviewer to catch those incredibly frustrating edge cases for you.
Now, ChatGPT has some incredible one-shotting power. Like, it can successfully solve deeply complex problems in just a single attempt. Boom. Done. It also boasts a seriously mature plugin ecosystem with over 90 tools, hooking right into your CI/CD pipelines and Slack. But we've got to talk about those drawbacks. The severe latency is, without a doubt, the biggest complaint. When you crank this thing up to its X high reasoning mode, developers describe it as moving like molasses. It's honestly kind of painful. It can also suffer from this weird loopiness where it just forgets completed steps in long tasks and starts redoing them, along with the occasional hallucination.
Which brings us to the ultimate trade-off with ChatGPT. Its coding accuracy is remarkably high for those planned, complex edits. But the speed and the latency, well, it is a very slow, very methodical, very deliberate, and undeniably sluggish experience, especially in those high reasoning modes. Basically, you're trading your time for extreme correctness. Moving right along to section 2, Claude, the intuitive architect.
If ChatGPT is our cautious senior reviewer, Claude is definitely the brilliant, highly creative, but maybe sometimes unpredictable artist of the team. Claude excels in ways that just feel incredibly human. It is absolutely brilliant for high-level planning, natural language understanding, and spinning up innovative feature development. Claude's real superpower here is intent inference. It actually gets what you mean and what you want to achieve, and it can hold on to that overarching goal through multi-step work with way less hand-holding than its competitors. And Claude brings some serious stats to the table to back that up, featuring superior intent inference and long-form reasoning. Opus 4.6 is hitting around 80% on the SW bench. When you pair it with its IDE tool in beast mode, it is honestly one of the most capable agentic workflows out there. But we do have to pivot to the cons because they are pretty significant. Claude suffers from unstable performance and this sort of quality drift, sometimes just getting plain lazy and skipping validation. It is notoriously token hungry. We're talking burning through up to 4 times more tokens than Codex for the exact same task. This leads to opaque costs and aggressive, super unpredictable rate limiting that will literally cut off your sessions right when you need them most. Plus, it has these little quirks. It loves to take initiative, sometimes renaming variables or quote-unquote improving things you specifically ask it not to touch. We've all been there, right?
So the crucial point here is understanding the split in Claude's personality. Its coding accuracy is very high for architecture and complex reasoning. But regarding speed, you actually have options. Opus is your go-to medium speed model for that deep architecture planning, while Sonnet 4.5 is the preferred engine for the fast, rapid, actual execution of those plans.
Let's check out our third candidate in section 3, Gemini, the context giant.
Okay, I want you to think of Gemini 3 Pro as your overly caffeinated speed reading intern. They work incredibly fast, they can read mountains of data in seconds, but sometimes they lack deep critical reasoning. Its real superpower, though, it is the absolute king of context. It's perfect for massive codebase analysis, high-velocity prototyping, and multi-modal visual tasks. Why? Because it boasts a staggering 2 million token context window. 2 million. This allows you to utilize what developers casually call dump the repo workflows. You literally just drop your entire massive code base or vast amounts of documentation straight into the prompt, and Gemini reads the whole shebang in one go. The pros here are all about scale and sheer velocity. You've got that massive context window. It's incredibly fast. It's super cost efficient. It even has native multimodality, meaning you can literally drop a screenshot of a user interface into it and it will scaffold the front-end functional code instantly. It's wild. But definitely beware, it is highly disobedient and overeager. It'll start editing code when you only asked a conceptual question. It also suffers from lazy reasoning or thinking reluctance, where you have to repeatedly prompt it to do multi-step logic. Oh, and the Google ecosystem and billing surrounding it, yeah, that can feel incredibly messy and fragmented. So with Gemini, your accuracy is heavily mixed. It's fantastic for rapid prototyping and vibe coding, but it's much less thorough. However, the speed and latency? Lightning fast and highly cost-efficient. With Gemini, you are definitively trading deep, careful reasoning for blistering speed and massive scale. All right, let's put them all head-to-head. This perfectly summarizes the core traits of our big three. ChatGPT brings cautious refactoring with high accuracy but slow speeds. Claude brings intuition and planning with high architectural accuracy at fast to medium speeds. And Gemini brings massive context with mixed accuracy but incredibly fast execution. Seeing them all side by side like this really highlights that they aren't just competitors, they are totally different puzzle pieces. Which perfectly tees up Section 4, the ultimate daily workflow. Now, let's completely transition from viewing these models in isolation to framing them as a unified collaborative team. This right here is the ultimate sophisticated 2026 playbook. Here is exactly how you synergize the intuitive architect, the careful planner, and the context giant chronologically. Step 1. Use Claude Opus 4.5 to plan the architecture and high-level design of your new feature. Let it be the brilliant planner. Step 2. Hand that plan off to ChatGPT 5.2 Codex to actually implement it with careful, minimal regret code. Step 3. Once the code is written, use ChatGPT again as a tough code reviewer on the final pull request to catch those subtle edge cases and bugs. And Step 4. Whenever you need to analyze a massive unfamiliar legacy codebase or quickly scaffold a front end from an image, tag in Gemini 3 Pro. Now, I do want to add one more vital piece to your tool belt, Perplexity AI. While our main three models are busy writing and reviewing code, Perplexity is your real-time research companion. You use it alongside them for tracking down the absolute latest API documentation or looking up highly specific, obscure errors that the other models might just hallucinate about. Adding this keeps your workflow razor-sharp and firmly grounded in current facts.
But wait, what if you're just starting out? What if managing 3 different subscriptions and ecosystems is just way too much right now? Well, if you absolutely must choose only one to start, the data is very clear. ChatGPT, specifically via Codex, is the absolute safest bet. Look, when you are a new developer, the very last thing you need is a model that breaks your existing code or hallucinates some wild, convoluted architecture. ChatGPT's minimal regret reliability and cautious correctness make it the ultimate anchor for tough coding problems while you're still finding your footing.
So there you have it. We've broken down the careful planner, the intuitive architect, and the context giant. You have the ultimate playbook in your hands. The only thing left is to actually put it into practice. So my question to you to end this explainer is this. What specific coding problem will you test them on first? Seriously, don't just think about it. Open up your IDE, pick one of these models, and put them to the test today. Happy coding!